Downstream Studio. Today I'm going to do a review on the Hudson Sawyer Hunter sawmill I bought 4 years ago. I'm going to talk about a couple things, and I'm going to go over and show you a couple of modifications I did that made this thing so much better. First things first, 4 years. Mechanically, this thing has been awesome. I've replaced the spark plug one time. I've changed the oil every season. Every spring I will change the oil before I use it. I've used it heavy. I've went through a lot of blades. I've resharpened blades, and I've not wore anything out. I've kept everything greased and maintained, and I cannot complain about it. There's nothing wrong with it. This engine has been spot on. I was planning on putting a bigger engine on it, a twin cylinder engine on it, but I wanted to get the life out of this engine. Here I am 4 years later, and this engine will still crank up. I just took the tarp off of it to just show you some stuff, and I know it'll crank up right now. Put a little gas in it, a couple pulls, it'll fire. First things first about this sawmill, it's kind of the entry level personal band sawmill. When you get this sawmill, you have to put it together, at least I did, and it comes with a track system just like this. This is one of the tracks. It's a 3-piece design, so it comes with 3 tracks that you put together, 1, 2, 3 on each side. Okay. It works great, and I understand, it fit in a box. Everything came in one crate on one pallet. Great design. But the thing is with this is when you roll your saw, when you're making your cut, the wheels have to transition twice every time you go down. So the wheels have to go over this piece to this piece. Even with a brand new timbers, brand new 4x6s I think I used, or 6x6s, these laid out brand new. It doesn't matter what you do, you will feel a bump in that saw, and it will show up in your boards, especially after you use this saw for a year or so, because you know as well as I do, wood will move. These will move underneath that wood. So what I was doing was constantly shimming, constantly putting treated pieces of shims under here, loosening the bolts, and constantly trying to get an even, smooth roll on it. Okay, that was the first flaw I did not like. Really, it's the only flaw that I did not like. But I knew when I bought this, that this, at max, you're only going to cut, I think, 10 foot, maybe 9.5 feet with this track system. I knew I was going to upgrade the track system. So what I did, and I'll show you up close in a minute, is I put 2 pieces of 20, I think this is 21 foot long steel, way taller. This is 2 inch, that's 3 inch, 3 inch angle. I had the holes pre-drilled for the log dogs, and then I took my track system that came with it, cut it up, and made more cross member pieces for my logs, and I'll show you that as well. But yeah, the track system, that was the biggest thing. Now I can cut up to 18 foot long boards, 18 foot long logs, no problem. That was the big thing. Another thing is I did break one of the handles of my log dog on the back, which doesn't affect it. I just take an axe or a cant hook, hit up against it, just drive it into the log a little bit, no problem. I was going to weld it back, I've just not got around to it, and I've used it like that for 2 years right now, and it works good. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple things. Right there it is. That's the track that came with it compared to the track I put on it. And the this is 3 inch by 3 inch angled steel. and it's perfect. The wheel rolls perfect in the track, or the track I made. And then I had the holes cut out for the log dogs. And took pieces, I took my track, because this is aluminum track that comes with it. This is steel that I've got now. This does not give. Cut this up in pieces and made more cross members for my logs. Put big log screws in them. That's more pieces of the track as in stock. And one thing I did do, one of the best modifications I did do to this, and I done this first year I had this machine, and it seems like when you go to cut hardwood, it's like you don't have enough power if you're in a really thick piece. It's like the engine's bogged down some. And it's mainly because it's at factory settings. So, if you see that spring and a screw, there's the screw with a spring on it. If you'll screw, you back it out. Because what's happening is when you get it, your throttle will only go that much open. So you back the screw out so you'll have more throttle. So you'll get more RPMs out of the engine, which equals more blade RPMs, way better cutting. Now, I know I ran it for a while. I know where my throttle is factory, pretty much. It was like, you know, somewhere right there, just a little past the air box. So if I'm cutting pine, I've got it there. Or if it's just like 6-inch or 8-inch cants of oak or something, you know, I might leave it there. But if I really need it and I hear it bogging, I'll open it up. I won't go all the way open, but about right there, and I can hear the engine, so nothing hurt. And I've been running it like this for 3 years. Keep the oil changed. A lot of stuff with this similar engine on it, and these engines are great. Knockoff Honda engines, they're tough. It's similar to the Predator that Harbor Freight has. I mean, you can even see I've dropped boards on the air box. This thing's been beaten and battered. The tank's, there been a piece, I mean, the tank is flaking off, or dropped the whole thing. And this is how tough it is. These can come loose. I had it, you know, to stop the track, to stop it from rolling off the tracks. Big windstorm come, Sawmill off the tracks. So, big piece of steel keeping it from rolling. Yeah. Big upgrade, guys, is the tracks. Being able to cut 18-foot long logs is awesome. And also I want to show you, it's an old piece, but with a good blade, this thing can cut really thin. You can cut 16th-inch pieces off, just veneer. I mean, nothing. Almost paper thin. And especially with this track now, with this new track system, it's smooth all the way. Because normally, when it crosses a different section, it would be a bump. And when you back it out, same thing. Some of the track pieces even had, where the transition was, you'd even started wearing the aluminum down, so it made the bump even worse. Example right here's one of them with it wore down. That was the end piece. I didn't cut that. That was where two tracks came together, And that's where the wheel was making that transition and making a bump. It's no big deal. I mean, I understand. And for what you get, for the money, for what you get, oh wow. This machine has already paid for itself many, many times. So this has been an awesome machine. After 4 years, I would do it again. I would buy another one in a heartbeat. Great machine. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe.
We will see you next time.